We're here with head men's lacrosse coach Tom Gravante talking about the upcoming season. Coach, you opened the season on Tuesday at Virginia. It seems to be a pretty quick start to the year.
Yeah, but I think we're ready. You know, considering we actually opened the season with the first day of practice on Monday, January 10th. And I know the kids are excited about starting the season where we ended it last year in a playoff game against a very powerful Cavalier team. So hopefully that day will be a day of redemption, you know, and an opportunity to build on from there, you know, as we move into a very tough NEC conference.
Let's talk about the team a little bit. We'll just kind of break it down by position. Up front, you have a lot of key returnees in the attack. Seems like we could have an explosive offense.
Yep, that's the hope by the staff and I. Finally mature on offense. You know, these are sophomores and juniors who were once in the starting lineup as freshmen. You know, again, rounding up the attack, you know, we have two sophomores, Brett Schmidt and Andrew Scally, and then we have a junior, Cody Laird. Young man had 48 goals last year in Division I. I think he was within the top 10 in goal scoring last year. So, coupled with two pretty good midfield. And at the midfield, a pretty well-developed first line with Brian Schmidt, Jake Willeritz, and Eric Asowski. All those kids have been playing since their freshman year. And a pretty good second line with Michael Atkins, Connor Carey, who's 6'4", looking to break the lineup as a 6'4" midi force, Christian Kellett, and a sophomore, Danny Stradix. All pretty developed young men. You know, overall, we're more mature on offense, but still somewhat young. You know, not a senior really in the lineup amongst those 9 to 12 kids. We will have some attackmen coming in off the bench, senior Mark Staper and sophomore Anthony Gold. So real excited for these young men, at least on that side of the field, as we struggle a little bit in the first couple of years with these kids.
Now, defensively, obviously you have goalkeeper T.C. DiBartolo back, and that's a big plus, but a little inexperience in front of him. Talk about the defense a little bit.
Yeah, we really don't have, well, we have one returning senior close defenseman. Everybody else is a little bit green down there. I mean, they have playing time and experience behind them, but the only returning close defenseman is Andrew Miller, who's a senior. We have our number one long stick midi, Justin Schmidt, moving down to close defense. And we had a young man, junior, Brendan Rooney, coming in off the bench last year, who looks to seem to have himself in a starting position. But again, a little bit immature down there. But hopefully with some of these early game opportunities, these kids will mature as we get into April towards the NEC play.
Well, talk a little bit about TC and goal and what he brings to you and into the team.
Well, you know, just a young man that has great passion for being in the net, which, you know, if you ask any coach in this business, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a kid that has enthusiasm. He really enjoys being there. He likes saving the ball. You know, he would make 19 saves and hunt that 20th save, and you know, a lot of coaches would want to stop after that, but he really enjoys the competition in there, and he realizes he's got a pretty green close defense unit in front of him, and his job has to, well, he's got to step it up in terms of his ability to lead, not just save the ball, but to lead this defense.
Talk a little bit about the specialist positions, face-off, and then the defensive middies. You do have some quality returnees there.
Yeah, we do. You got a returning face-off kid, Benny Trapp, who I think finished, you know, he might have been in the top 20 in face-off percentage last year. He's been in the start, and he's been the starter since his freshman year. And then we have another senior who took a year, you might say a year of sabbatical. He's in the ROTC program. He's a tremendous athlete, great kid, Nick Raines. And he's done a wonderful job returning to help us give us some depth there. And then we have a young man, John Marcelise, who's a sophomore. who appears to help as well. So we're pretty good there with the short stick DMs. We're pretty mature with senior captain Brendan Harrison, and he's going to get help from sophomore Robbie Owen, who's in the starting lineup as a freshman. Real good athlete, understands the game between the restraining lines, plays very good 6-on-6 defense. So we'll be okay up front of the close defense with those kids. But we really need to get organized through TC on the close defense unit. And the long stick matey is our backup. He's the #1 this year, Mark Burns. Very good, very good. Really excited about him. He's what you want in a long stick. He'll hunt the cage, and he's probably 6'3" himself, and looks really good, really smooth with a long stick in his hand. So, again, it's all up to these guys gaining confidence as we go, and really having our goalie TC DiBartolo getting them organized.
And then new conference this year, Northeast Conference. Think it may be overlooked a little bit. There's some pretty strong teams in the conference. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, again, I said this before. I mean, this is a conference that has some history, a little bit deeper history in terms of its financial support, allowing the coaches to really get that next level kid quicker. Starting with Mike Pressler up at Bryant. I mean, he's, as I say, he's a coaching icon. He's as big as they come. He was in the business when I was playing. I actually played against him as a youngster at Hobart. Moving down, you might say moving north to south. You got Quinnipiac. You got Robert Morris. You got Sacred Heart. You got Wagner. And you got us. I mean, it's a very quality conference. I think preseason right now they have Bryant #1 and Robert Morris #2, and I think the Mount is #3. Quinnipiac follows us, and then Sacred Heart and Wagner. So, and 3's where I put us. I mean, it's a solid conference. We were 4th last year preseason in the MAC, definitely in striking distance to win, and this year we've moved up a notch. And again, that's exactly where I selected us to be at preseason.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking the time, and good luck this season.
Thanks, appreciate it.